Hello everyone, Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, and it's time to talk about Razor Sharp by Pegboard Nerds and Tristam. Now anyone that knows me well, knows the channel well, will know how I feel about percussion in electronic music. It's a maker or breaker for me in deciding whether I enjoy a particular tune or not. I am an absolute sucker for percussion that is full, defined, and importantly, well suited to what lays on top. Over the years, having heard hundreds of thousands of songs spanning, I think, 20 plus genres, I've become more attuned to what works and what doesn't on that front, which I have been very vocal about, and understandably, people have wanted to know from me exactly what works and what doesn't, to give examples and show what I mean. It's been difficult to find a way to do it. I didn't want to be like, these songs do it awfully and these ones do it really well. That seemed a bit too harsh. But I was shuffling some old songs the other day and I stumbled across Razor Sharp by Pegboard Nerds and Tristam. And I noticed that there were two different kinds of snare on show, one that really worked and one that didn't so much. Apt as well, I think, to discuss snares because they are the type of percussion I address most on the channel, become a bit of a meme by this point, and so here we are. I'm going to show you the two snares and try to make clear the difference between working and not working. And hopefully from here, you'll be able to tell with more ease going forward what constitutes as well functioning and not. And so, the first one, very simple, arrives in the introduction, and when I heard it again the other day, I was like, wow, that is flat, and I can't believe it didn't put me off beforehand. But yeah, here it is, here we go. I mean, all good so far, just a kick, pretty much. I mean, you can hear the flatness there, surely. It doesn't back up what's on top at all. It just sounds very tepid and weak and deflated, if you will, and it doesn't get me fired up at all for what follows. It just has quite a depressed feeling to it, even though everything else on top is so sick, very energetic and preparatory, really trying to get you in the mood, but instead I'm left thinking here about what could have been. I always say about percussion in electronic music, when there's a lot going on in a given sequence, it's best when the percussion doesn't really stick out, when you don't notice it, almost becoming a part of the background because it just does its job perfectly as the bass, kind of like a leveler, allowing everything else on top, the melody, the flavour, the colour, to do its own job, But right here, this snare just sticks out like a sore thumb and sounds very unpleasant. Let's hear it again. It's like the musical equivalent of a clown doing a really bad party trick, if that makes sense. Kind of like a balloon losing air, going flat. Yeah, don't really know how else to put it, really. I mean, surely, please, you can hear that that is completely and utterly just not supporting what lays on top. If you still can't, drop a comment down below and I'll try and explain further, but really, I don't know if I can. The second one though, perhaps luckily, arrives in the drops, the focal point of Razor Sharp, the better one here, picking the track right back up and making me love the tune overall as a result. So, yeah, here we go. Thought I'd give a bit of the build to, get a bit of hype going. Oh, fuck. Wow. I mean, you can hear the difference, right? Surely you can hear, and I don't really need to explain myself here. It smacks so hard, backs up the madness on top, and just a load of body to it, When dubstep snares hit very hard, you just you feel like you become a part of the track, like the song is a beast and you're kind of moving along with it, kind of trudging along, motoring along. Something that I think I've said before, and for me is just easily the best way of putting it. And that is the case right here. Yeah, I mean, not sure what else to say really. It's defined, it's got punch, it's well suited to all the other elements on show. One of those where I'm not sure it could be any better. So, yeah, it's cracking. Top marks for that, Pegboard Nerds and Tristam. Let's play it again, it's so good. Oh, beast of a tune! I hope that was a good example as to what a good and bad snare can sound like. Obviously, they're two completely different snares, each of which can work and not work in different sequences or situations. But my point is that for the sections they're in, one clearly works and one clearly doesn't. It's as simple as that. Basically, imagine if you swap them, how those sections would sound. Completely different. Thankfully, the bad snare at the beginning isn't enough to end my massive love for Razor Sharp, you know. Something as slight as that, I think I can brush aside in terms of my overall enjoyment of it. It was in my top songs of the whole decade, lest I forget, which just shows you how much I love it. But if that bad snare is in the drops, the main part of the tune, then it's a different story altogether. But again, really hoping you can feel and hear what I'm saying, my explanations through the music. For me, it's got to a point where I notice straight away, and that decides whether I like a given song or not. For many though, it's harder to discern, having not heard anywhere near as much, which by the way is completely fair. When I first started listening to bass music, I loved absolutely everything. I couldn't tell for shit which elements worked and which didn't. I had no clue. It all comes with listening to as much as you can, as frequently as you can. Which, by the way, I recommend. It will improve your relationship with the music no end. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see me do other stuff like this, let me know. Drop your ideas in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're yet to. Hit the notification bell along the way. Social media accounts in the description box down below. And if it's naughty, then you know guys. So be sure, as always, to keep it naughty and stay safe. And I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Razor Sharp, 2 snares. Peace out.